is not recording. Okay.
We started a new group of daughters in Richmond, Virginia. And then we started a group in 1993 in Rochester, New York. And there was a Boston group was started in September of 95. And a oblate, Father George Haltzman, who was a chaplain at Harvard, was the group director. And then in
chaplain?
Chaplain, yes. And in 1995, there was a new group of daughters that was started in Florida. And in 1992, there was a group in Highland, Michigan. And in 1995, there was a group in Jackson, Michigan. The Wilmington group had been started before I became the regional. And
that was with Sister Frances Therese Leary, visitation.
Yeah, no, wasn't she
Wilmington?
Yeah, okay. So that was, when I finished my term of office, there were 18 groups, and I felt that it had gotten so big that you could hardly carry it on person to person. So I divided the region into three regions, and the northern section, and then the middle section, and then the southern section, because we had when Delphine was in charge, everything east of the Mississippi was in the eastern region, and everything west of the Mississippi was in the western region. So it did work out better because you could keep it on a one-to-one basis with the groups when there was 3 regional directresses, and that seemed to work out well.
And who were the new regional directresses? Do you remember besides you?
Well, when I was regional directress, I was the only one.
Yes.
And then after that, well, right now, Kathy Hartka is the regional directress for the middle region, and she's right in
not Dorothy Jabula.
Yeah, Dorothy DeJabula is for the southern part, and then Kathy Hartka for the middle region, and then the one for the northern region is
Cullen? Kathy Cullen?
No. I can't remember.
She was with the Boston group.
Yeah.
Okay, look in your folder for the Boston group. Oh, don't get old, Elizabeth.
No, the brain gets weaker.
Don't get old. Yes. Well, it's a good thing we have pictures.
Yeah, Jackson, Michigan.
And then at any rate, that's all written history. We're just doing a little oral history, and we want to make sure that we get your take on Salesian spirituality. That you had said something before about how you used your Salesian spirituality to make a very difficult decision while you were working. What was your position?
I was the supervisor for the Montgomery County Health Department, and at that time the Roe versus Wade permitting abortion had been decided, and so I was at a supervisor's meeting, and we were told that we should counsel women who were pregnant that they could have an abortion and refer them for an abortion if they wanted one. And I said that, well, I couldn't go along with that. I said, that's against my Catholic belief. And it was interesting. The one who spoke up at the supervisors meeting to help me was a Jewish nurse, and then somebody else was trying to say that they really didn't. I shouldn't have to say, and I said no. They need to know where I stand on that, and I said I could not go along with that. And so they said, well, Liz, what could you go along with? And so I said, well, I need to talk to my pastor. I said, and at that time it was Bishop Herman. So he was wonderful, and we went back and forth and several different times about what, and we ended up that the Catholic nurses would not have to counsel on abortion, and I think that that was my best contribution to the to my work. I worked there for 14 years.
Mm-hmm. So how do you think your Salesian spirituality helped you with that?
Well, I think my Salesian spirituality helped me in that your duties of your state in life are most important, and I felt that it was my duty to stand up for what I believed in, and of course it was easier for me, Laura, because I didn't have children to support, and it was easy for me to make a stand, and because I didn't really need the money, but people, it would be difficult for some of the women, the nurses, who had to keep their jobs, and but I did make it easier so they didn't have to make a stand.
Yes, good. And you had said that what Jerry said, that you were much easier to live with since
Yeah,
you
that's
joined joined the society. And tell us a little bit about the impression that the society made on Jerry.
Well, when we had been on a retreat down at the daughters had been on a retreat down at Visitation, and Jerry and my husband and Larry DiJoseph, they were waiting. Laura's husband, they were waiting for us, and they were talking, and they said, since Laura and Liz are so much easier to live with now that they've been in the daughters, maybe we ought to think about it. And then from that, they thought about it, and then they got Father Fiorelli to be their chaplain, and they would come once a month to our apartment, and because it was sort of the central place, and have a meeting with Father, and that's how the fraternity got started.
And Jerry even went so far as to help edit a book.
Oh yes, Jerry he edited a book of the writings of St. Francis de Sales, and it turned out that Father, what was his name? In the Red Book, the Living Jesus, Father Masters, he was a Divine Word physician, and he had all these little notes and clippings about Salesian spirituality. Laura, could you get me a little more water?
Let me put it on pause.
Thank you.
I think I've got one. Yeah, I'll cut it on pause. Now it's 10:04.
Oh, is it? Oh, my.
Yeah.
I have Well,
I think
almost.
we're gonna have to continue this. It's gonna take you a little while to get yourself up there.
Okay.
So why don't we'll just, we will just